into this scenario. You're playing, the best. You're not even in the same league as them. Literally, they're not in the CWL. So it's always going to be a bit difficult. For me, I think U4X kind of had a decent showing. I think they definitely come out of the gate. There was, there are some good names in there, but we have seen these players before. It's not like they're complete unknowns to us. And I think that showed. I think that's the reason the series was closer. Even things like Breach Hardpoint, I said, may actually be a bit more of a blowout, and it wasn't. They actually got more points. It was still a blowout. Don't get me wrong. I'm not pretending.
I mean, they won by about 150
but it was a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, the S&D was pretty much, that was pretty standard from Splice, 6-1. I mean, nothing to really talk about. The uplink was a little bit closer, but I mean, still, it never looked like Splice were ever going to lose the game at any point in any of the maps. So, for me, still very, very comfortable.
What do you think was the biggest problem with U4X then, team? I mean, why could they not just match up to Splice?
I think the biggest thing is Splice kept having situations where they just get that explosive double kill. And I think you can group up all you want on U4X, but if you're just not winning those straight head-to-head gunfights that many times in a row, that's where they're going to start to take advantage. The biggest thing I've seen from some of the more amateur players is they don't know what to do off of kills, right? They get the intro kills, they get map control, and then they're like, crap, how do we do that again? And like chain everything together, right? It's a step-by-step process, especially in like an uplink, for example. You get the intro kills at drone, you push up, you execute a 1. Then what? That's where they struggle. That's from what I see. They don't know how to chain together a lot of points very quickly, and they got to figure it out if they're going to make it to the top level. Simple as that.
I think that's the difference. Is these teams, it's almost like another level you got to add to your game. You get we've done it. Now there's actually, you actually need to do 3 other steps, actually. This is the first step for the first point. All right, before we go too much into it map by map, we are going to throw it down to the floor. It's Emo with Rated.
Thank you, Alan's here. Now we're here with Rated back on LAN. How does it feel being away from that dreaded online connection?
It's a lot better. I struggled to go 100% online sometimes, so yeah, it's good to be back online going 100% with the team.
I mean, I know Anaheim wasn't the best performance by you guys at the end. Obviously, you got through the open bracket, but then kind of struggled against some of the top teams. It's obviously reverse sweep against FaZe. Is that kind of spurred you on, or is it? What were your thoughts, obviously, coming off that event and coming into this event?
I wouldn't really say we struggled against the top teams. Like, we should have 4-0'd FaZe on the first 4 maps, so I wouldn't say we struggled, but we choked against them, obviously, so props to them for bringing it back. But yes, it's good to be back on LAN, but I think that event was really a wake-up call just to clean up on the slight mistakes which cost you games.
So you think you've been working on being sort of more polished, making sure everything's more clean-cut? I mean, have you been working on specific strategies against any of the teams here this weekend?
Not really. Just we know the best team in Europe, so we just got to play our game. That's one of the mistakes we made against Infuse at Anaheim. We were worried about them knowing what we do more than just playing that game and being better than them because of that.
Okay, so U4X, not really much of a challenge for you guys. Looked pretty clean-cut the entire game. Was there anything that they did that sort of threw you off a little bit, or was it just...
Not really. I think teams like that need to use their head a bit more and just I don't know, protect Rapid for a high caliber or something, because they're never going to beat a team like us just going straight up and against gunfights. So I think they need to just be a bit more smart and battle protect.
Yeah, when you're playing against the COD World League team compared to playing against a Challenge Division team, is there a noticeable difference, even some of the sort of lower down teams like LDLC, for example?
I wouldn't say there's a noticeable difference, but I just think CWL teams are more polished and know the ins and outs of the game better than the non-CWL teams.
I think you'll be playing Riot next because they beat Supremacy. Were you a bit surprised at that result?
Not particularly. We scrim Riot the other day, and they're a good team online, and obviously Supremacy are a good team online, but it's a different story online. So I wasn't too surprised, but it was a good result for Riot nonetheless.
Okay, excellent. And obviously you're going to be predicting that you're going to win this tournament. Who do you think you'll meet in the final? Who's your biggest rival here?
I definitely say Infuse are the next best team. I think us and Infuse are better than everyone else at the moment, and then probably Millennium third.
Season 2 finals, it's coming up pretty soon. I asked the same question at Scraps. What's more important for you, this event or the Season 2 finals? And would you sacrifice this event to win S2?
100%. Season 2 has a lot more money than this event, so 100% no chance. But yeah.
Excellent. Well, there you go. Conclusive. We're going to go back to Brycey on the analyst desk. Thanks very much to Rated.
Thank you very much there, Mike. Great interview. And I think it's kind of interesting here, the thing he talked about where he said, you know what, when we played Infused last time, we were too worried about they know what we do rather than just playing our game. And he still believes they're the better team. Splice believes they're the best team in Europe and they can beat anyone. And that's what they're concentrating on.
I mean, yeah, you have to play your own game, don't you? You don't really want... I mean, whenever I speak to pros and they talk about anybody coming to an event, they always say play the same game, because you look at teams who are very good online and stuff like that, and they always say play your own game, play it the same way as you do at home, etc. And then he's sort of like contradicting when they played against Infused that say, oh, we changed our game because of them. If they play their own game, like he said, they should be able to win games like that, and they do have the potential to go all the way in this tournament, absolutely. And I think what he said is right. If they play their own game, they should be able to do that.
And I think even though it's slightly contradictory, he actually said, you know, why are these teams not throwing something random into the Ban and Protect?
Yeah.
And with the same thing we've been saying, he goes, you know you're not the better team. You know you're not. We know we're better than you. Why aren't you surprising us? Why aren't you doing something? Because you're just not going to win these gunfights against us.
Yeah, pretty much. He hit the nail on the head in that one, in my opinion. It's like you have these options to utilize different aspects of the game that a team might not be used to using. You know, when you watch in the CWL, when do you see rapid fire come to play? Like 5% of the time, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's something you can easily do to throw something more in your favor right away.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's quickly go into this map by map then. The first hard point as it went down. Teep, let's start with you. What did you notice?
Basically, the same sort of issues that we've seen from some of the other blowouts, to be honest. It's some of the lesser teams, they do a good job of getting intro time on those first couple of hills, and then all of a sudden they don't get another point for 2, 3, 4 hills straight. Stop going for so much scrap time. Give it up and play for full 60s. That's how Breach works. On a map like Evac, maybe you could play for scrap time a little bit more on each hill, right? Breach doesn't work like that. It's going to snowball. It's one of the biggest snowball hard points. Stop going for give it up and go for 120 seconds straight like they're doing to you, right? You have to try and counter in the same way of what they're doing.
Oh, 100% agree. And I think more veteran teams will acknowledge that a lot quicker here. When you're kind of still playing, you're practicing, like, oh, we need every point. It'll be a close game. We'll get these points. It's always very tempting to go, oh, 10 seconds. I could probably get that if I make one kill. Instead, what you've actually done is not only giving away the rotation, but now your team may not have the gunfights to get the trades, and now the lanes are pushed out, and you're nowhere near it. And you're like, well, we've actually lost 60. All right, I'm going to power through this. Let's get on to the S&D then. And again, you know, Splice, they went down 1-0, and then they went, whatever.
Yeah, but again, I think they never really came out of that middle gear. You know what I mean? It was just constant, well played by them, but it was never really in any doubt. They just looked comfortable throughout the whole game. I mean, we're seeing a lot of pushes towards A, and they're getting down that side. And they were just locking it down too quickly as well. There never seemed to be a moment where U4X had control of their own defensive bomb sites. They never seemed to get themselves in the position to hold it down, and Splice just always seemed to be there first and on the front foot from the start of the round instantly, and then there was no way back for U4X. They were trying to claw themselves back into it, but it just never really happened for them. I mean, Bance played really well on that map, if I remember rightly, and as soon as they were getting into power positions, that was the round over, and U4X couldn't do a thing.
Well, I think Teep made a great kind of comment there. He just said that for some reason U4X is just challenging and going in one by one. There's nothing, there's no connectivity there or anything.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. We see individual performances shine through just a little bit, but then they just get outshined by that overall team performance, right? You can't rely on that. It's not consistent. To place well at these tournaments time and time again, it relies on the team game. If you watch Splice play against some of these lesser teams, it looks so easy for them, and it's for a reason. They get to the part of the map they need to go together. They have an overall plan. They execute it. It's step by step. They've done it so many times, and it makes the other team play extremely passive.
Yeah.
It's simple.
I think, as we go into the uplink, I think one of the things here to kind of explain this to people at home at the very least, and it makes sense to me, you can shoot me down if you want. You can tell when Splice aren't, like, they don't need to go full tempo because of the tempo of the game. Like, take them versus Infused. Tempo of those games have been so much higher because of the flooding and the control that goes on in the hills, because they are playing faster. If you see a team that go, oh, it looks a little bit slow, a little bit casual, because it is because they don't have to increase that tempo, and that's their next level to go forward. But let's go to the uplink here, because there were a few chances for U4X to kind of close that gap and maybe do some work.
I mean, there was a couple of moments, but again, we just reiterate exactly back to what you just said, they went in the full tempo. I think they're sort of looking at that and saying, all right, okay, yeah, they're getting a point. It's all right, we'll win anyway. I think that is genuinely what their mindset probably would have been going into that map anyway. You know, they're 2-0 up in the series. Both maps have been relatively comfortable. There's no reason for us to really open up the floodgates at this point. Yeah, okay, yeah, they'll make a statement, but what does that mean? You know, you need to make the statements in the big games. Save yourselves for them, because, I mean, people might say, oh, well, you're only sitting there, you know, twiddling your thumbs, but it's mental. It's all, you need to tight yourself.
They look relaxed in the booth.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're relaxed. They just want to get through the game, get themselves warmed up, move through it. I think that's all it was, rather than U4X made a couple of nice plays, but again, it was the same sort of thing we've seen all weekend. Teams taking too long after they made that first step, as you said, not really transitioning that into anything. And then when they did, it was just a couple of nice little shots from a couple of their players. But again, I mean, U4X need to take potentially that and move it into the next game and see what they can do from that. But as I said, Spice never really looked to move up into that 6th game.
No, I think that puts a lovely little bow on the top of that one. That's sealed. Put to one side, as we're going to have another game coming up right after the break. It is going to be LDLC versus Orbit. Join us in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to the Gfinity Summer Masters. It's time for another game. This will be our 6th of the day, and there are 2 more tacked on to the end. We're going to have even more games today because we're rocking through them. We're getting through them at an amazing rate because they're all 3-0s and teams are getting smashed. Anyway, joining me here on the desk, we do have, of course, TP again and Momo, 2 ex-professional players. One with a slightly better record than the other. I'll let you figure out which one that is.
We did play each other once, actually. It was a close hard point, some say.
Oh, that's an infamous hard point as well. 250-6. And then somehow you went to map 5.
So, who is playing next? LDLC Orbit is going to be a good game.
It is going to be a good game. All right, let's jump into this one. First of all, let's start with the team we all know, and that's going to be LDLC. It's a little bit easier to digest this team. From what I understand, they are playing with carbines, which is because they lost Brand during the season.
Yes.
They had a pickup. Now they've got carbines who we thought they could be playing with all the time.
Yeah, this is a CWL team which, in a sense, coming into this event is probably, the lowest rank in the CWL team, if you like. They've had a bit of a mix-up. They've not got their CWL team. They've had team changes. They've lost players. A bit of a storyline behind this, and they've not had the easiest run. They've caused a few upsets. They beat Splice in the CWO, which was ridiculous. But coming up against Orbit, it's not going to be easy. I don't think this is going to be, the same 3-0 clear cut as the last 3 games we've seen.
Well, no, I mean, the Orbit squad is what Shucks, Cosmo, Subsys, and Drill. I think it's Drill, how you pronounce that. Obviously, Team, you have never heard of pretty much any of them, I don't think. So this is almost an unknown. Now, me and Phil have only seen these players a handful of times.
Yeah, a couple of times.
And they're not exactly set the world on fire, but LDLC, inconsistent, is going to be the word of the day for this squad. Again, it's the same story we spoke of last time. LDLC, ex-TCM. They lost a few players, and they actually qualified for Stage 1 finals. But since their big team change, they lost Sonny B, they gained a Watson. Now they've lost a Brand as well. It's not gone well for them here. How do you think this team is going to perform today, though?
I think they need to try and find some rhythm here in this first match of the day. They've been struggling pretty hard, but when you look at this roster, you don't expect them to be sort of that bottom of the barrel team as far as they are in Stage 2, right? So I feel like if they come out and prove a point here, we've been saying it the whole day today. That's kind of what Friday is about, right? Like today's the day where you set the tone for the rest of the tournament. If you come out hot here, you get a lot of momentum going into those matches tomorrow, the winners, the losers matches, whatever you're going into there. If you have a good showing in the first match of the day, you get a good warm-up, making sure your head's on right? So we don't know. I don't know how to say it though. I just LDLC, that poor record just shines through. That's a lot of matches to lose, right? So
it certainly is. I think that's the issue that we're all having with LDLC is we think they should probably be better than their record suggests, but they have the only ray of light and the only kind of thing we can go point at and go that means something is a Splice game where Watson suddenly he was fantastic. He switched to an SMG. He was doing things we didn't usually see. His movement was a lot more fluid. And a lot of people were like, wow, that's actually quite impressive from this squad. And then, they lost to Vitality on the last week. It doesn't make any sense.
I have stole something from the Frenchman who is about to cast Jonas. He did tell me something very interesting. SWC, I believe Killerfish played LDLC and Killerfish beat LDLC. 2 of those Killerfish players are on this team Orbit. I don't know who. I will be honest. But that's a fact.
Did you get Jonas back?
If it's wrong, blame Jonas.
Blame Jonas.
Yeah.
Well, he might be actually stitching you up just because it's not gone well for the French teams.
Well, if he has, revenge will be sweet.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about how we think this is going to go here. Having carbines in is definitely a boon for them. It helps kind of speed this team up. This team, again, suffers from some pacing issues. So, obviously, losing Sonny B. Sonny B kind of set their season on fire Stage 1. And it helps them actually propel them into the finals. They lost him this time. Now they can barely win a map.
Carbines, I think, is going to be that main slayer that they need. And I think he's the one that's going to kind of propel them, give Shane a bit more space running around, give Watson that freedom to do what he just does. And, he kind of circles himself away from his team sometimes. But when he does that, we've all experienced that crazy Watson. When he's in his zone and he's doing his thing, he can be on fire. I just hope he brings that intensity to this game. But predictions-wise, I'd definitely favour LDLC, but I'm going to go 3-1.
Okay, 3-1. Do you think anything different here, bearing in mind it's a bit of an unknown quantity for you, the guys on Orbit?
I think I would say a 3-1 or a 3-2 as well for LDLC. I think you have to give the advantage to the CWL team, right? You can have a lot more experience playing against some of these. We go back to 3 and 4, Uplink and CTF. When you get so much practice against some of the top teams in the world week in and week out, it's just you automatically gain the advantage of those game types. As far as 1 and 2 go, the Hardpoint and S&D, they have been too impressive. Again, Breach who's going to be able to rotate and get that snowball effect. We've seen it a couple series in a row now. I feel like this one's going to be a lot closer, and Breach can go anyway when it gets down to the wire like that. So it's going to be a close one for LDLC, but I'm giving it to them.
Well, I think this for me, and I'm sure you'll kind of agree, this is where we find out how good LDLC are at the moment. I said, when you're inconsistent, nobody knows. And until we see them play here, this is a benchmark. If they start struggling in this game, then you really got to start curtailing any chances of them going very far in this tournament. They come out of the gates here, Lightning. You'd hope that it's a bit of a more on-form team, a team that could start actually taking down some of the elite squads or making a little bit of damage here. I mean, speaking about Orbit, I mean, some of the players, we've seen a few of the players. Subsist, for me, maybe stands out in that roster. I thought he was very good last time I saw him. Certainly had his fundamentals down well. Is it good enough to beat? Like I said, they are veterans on the guys of LDLC, and that team is not going to be easy to beat individually.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think the guys need to go up against LDLC and go, look, they've had roster changes. They haven't got the chemistry that other kind of pro teams have. Let's just kind of, go full force at them, because they're not going to be prepared for it. They don't have kind of weeks or months teaming together. They don't have that chemistry. Carbine's coming in so late. They just need to put names aside. Forget that you're playing, I don't know, Shane or Watson, who has been at the top. Just put it aside, play your game, and I actually think this could go all the way just on Call of Duty kind of gun skill alone.
Well, I think the reason that we speak about LDLC, and I think everybody expects more. We expect more of this team. So I actually want to take a look at the players in that team to explain to people at home why we actually are expecting more from them. You've got, let's start, Shane. Here, the captain, he is an internationally recognized face. I mean, TB, you've seen him frequently over in America. You know who he is. I think everybody does. And he's had a stigma for a long time of being an objective player. He's not very good. A lot of people think he should have retired a while ago. And every time that has been said about him, he's come back stronger. He slays. He's been in winning teams, and it keeps happening. And he keeps going, whatever, I'm just going to keep coming back. And he got in the CWL. He's doing well. This, so far, it's not going well for him. And those same old stories are starting to creep up again.
Well, I think Shane is a man of many talents, but I think he's able to adapt, and that's the best thing about Shane. He's, he can be that SMG objective, or he can be an AR Slayer.
Interesting. The Banner Protect has started, and that first Protect is something we don't see that often. Watson instantly protects Afterburner. That's quite rare. I don't see that very often at all.
Yeah, maybe they did some research on maybe how the other team works these Banner Protects a bit, but the Afterburner means they want to utilize the wall runs, the low wall runs. That middle are pretty huge, and especially on Palace, the backside walls as well. So maybe that kind of scared them if that would be taken out of their game. So interesting.
I'm just going to give an alternate theory.
Okay.
Watson misclicked.
If anyone's going to do it, it's Watson. Knowing Watson.
I saw the name and I was like, maybe.
But I just think you're going to see such a fast-paced game.
Yeah.
Afterburners in, stocks in. It's just going to be high intensity. None of the SMGs have been banned. You've got your VMPs. You might even have that Vesper at the start as well. But your tacticals have been taken away. Your high cal rapid fire. Everything else pretty standard. But that Afterburner Protect, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's certainly not something a lot of teams will do straight away. Like your high-profile Banner Protect, things like stock, that's probably one of the most prevalent. You're saying, well, that is almost pretty much first or second. Also, maybe you'll take a VMP away, or an M8, or a Man of War. Those are the kind of things you expect to see off the bat, because it sets the tone for the rest of the Banner Protect. And it allows the other team to react, and it allows things to go down. You want to make sure it's not protected. Now, Afterburner could have been banned, but as I said, for me, it's a little bit more rare than some of the others. Things like Overclock, the double tactical, all these things are very, very normal to happen here. So I'd quite like to know the theory behind it. Maybe the guys in LDLC either want to play a specific way, or they know something that we don't know about Orbit.
Yeah, I think it has to be they know something. They're preparing for the worst in a sense. You take away that one thing you want in the game and make sure it's in no matter what. And then we got to touch on, I think this is the first series in the Hardpoint where we've seen double Scythe, no Tempest. Yep. So again, we've had our thoughts on the Tempest. We think it's just you have more, you're more mobile with it, easier to shoot. Hip fire. I feel like the Tempest fits that sort of mold for Breach a little bit better. But both teams matching up evenly with the camo, wave, armor, and Scythe. So.
Yeah, a bit of a mirror matchup, so no one's really got the advantage here. Like I said, sometimes it's just down to personal preference, and although I think the general consensus is that Tempest is tier 1 in almost every single scenario, and then Scythe is just below it. And then, you got your niche picks like your Purifier, and then underneath that, Annihilator. And that's pretty much all we're going to see. I think we saw a Sparrow once. Didn't go well. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing too out of the ordinary coming in there from that Banner Protect. You got your double tactical, you got your overclock, you got your HCXD and your Semtex, and that's pretty much standard going through here. I do know that the team of LDLC does like their lethal grenades.
Yeah, they always did, especially when they had Sunny B. They ran double Semtex, and I think it was wise for the boys to ban that away. But, frag grenades, there's still things that they can use. You can't ban everything, especially, like snipers. If there's a good sniper on the other team, you can take 2 snipers overkill.
Well, that's how the PO6 becomes so prevalent.
Yeah, and we saw Locust coming into play before as well. But talking about this game, I think we are going to see LDLC rocking maybe double frags, just being a nuisance, really.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think LDLC are one of those teams that doesn't... We keep saying this word vanilla. We keep saying, the standard Call of Duty, but it doesn't seem to be that way with LDLC as much. So maybe that'd be a bit of their benefit. However, this game is ready to go. We're going to hand it over to our casters. We've got a French-American mix, which I'm fairly certain is Canadian, but we'll find out. We're going to hand it over to Jonas and Jack, the Ego Dunlop.
Bonjour, merci. Bonjour, je m'appelle Jacques.
And my name is Jonas. He's French and I'm English, apparently.
And that's all I know. We are into game number 1, though, of LDLC going up against Orbit. I walked up to Shane prior to this match. I said, "You gonna win this?" He said, "Hopefully." And I said, "How?" And, well, apparently it's a Vesper inside this hard point off the start of Breach. As right now, he's having a grand old time as his teammates are slaying out all around him. Carbine's obviously the guy who has now filled in for Bran on this team. He's begun to make a name for himself. At times, this team looks like they have some moments of brilliance for the most part, though. Some struggles throughout stage 2.
Yeah, and coming off this first bit of the hard point, we're not really expecting Orbit to take the hard point. I expect them to be really good in S&D and third and fourth map, and LDLC just showing off on the first map, and Carbine's going 5-1 already, just a really good control of the map, starting off on P1.
Yeah, and Drill, who's actually inside the objective at the moment, he's using that laser sight of his VMP, which we've now seen adapted more and more in North America and CWL, but it was really started by the Europeans, specifically Infused, who made that big impact back at Anaheim. As right now, the score 38-11, Orbit in control of the hard point for the moment, but you can see in your minimap, it's a 3-man hit through this back lab area for the side of LDLC, and just like that, that push is shut down. Orbit now beginning to fight back.
And that was a really good job of Orbit. I mean, it was literally a 1-on-4 situation, then a 1-on-3, and then a 1-on-2, and they managed to win just important gunfights to keep control of the spawn. But once again, you see LDLC all wrapping up around the back to make sure they got control of those spawns and they can break in, and it should be easily. Cosmo all alone is not going to be able to make that kill as Watson breaks in, and LDLC is going to be in the lead once again. But Orbit, great control of that P2.
Yeah, and they did a solid job up the break. I will say, though, LDLC, they didn't panic. They didn't get flustered. They continued to push for those back spawns, and Orbit gets about 25 seconds off this hard point. LDLC do the same. The rotation towards Palace, really the largest rotation on this map for the most part, as it's going to be Nile early on in control for LDLC. Does try to challenge that back kind of generators area. Doesn't work out for him there at the moment. Dead nade going in from Shane. He won't get anybody with that, and Orbit on rotation, get the kills they need. They'll be in early control of bottom Palace.
Yeah, LDLC was slightly late onto that rotation, but they actually did a good job at holding, but eventually Cosmo just got 3 kills at the row. He's now on to 4, finally going to drop down to Shane, and the flood is coming in from the LDLC players, and somehow Orbit just manages to keep it. It's pretty good map so far to start with for the German.
Yeah, and I think a big impact on that is Drill right now. Obviously the AR of this team, 11-8, more than holding his own in the slaying. Now 12-8, almost has 13 there. They're just trading efficiently. They're getting the kills they need. Look, Shucks gets challenged by 2 players. Both of the players were already one shot. Easily puts in the bullets he needs with the Man of War. Orbit will now take their first lead of the game, up by about 15 seconds as we rotate towards green. These are the kills on rotation. The last time they went in favor of Orbit. We'll see if they do it again here, as LDLC are going to have to hold this bottom broken push.
Yeah, absolutely. And LDLC was very early on the rotation,
shots.
and even though they didn't have the control of the spawns, they just managed to keep calm and wait for the Orbit player as they tried to get into the hill, and just managed to get control of the spawns once again. So now they're going to be in a very good situation to hold that one down and to take the lead once again.
And I do like the setup they had for the moment. They're going to have to watch out for this bottom broken push. That's an easy cleanup for one. Heatwave gets popped, but it's Drael who's broken into the hard point. That specialist doesn't wind up working out for his team. Yes, he is all alone. Pressure going to come in from just behind him. I do believe that's Shane that's dropped in, but Actually, you've got Shucks playing from this construction side, still putting in fire towards this hard point. It's an interesting setup, and with 25 seconds left, it's still worth it for these teams to push for this, try to at least get this last bit of scrap time. I do believe LDLC should get this break. There it is. They'll go ahead, soak up this last little bit of time, and now rotate towards bottom control, down by about 5 seconds.
Jack, that was very sloppy from the LDLC. They had control of the spawns the whole time. They had the numbers in their advantage, but they didn't manage to make the kills. Like, every time an Orbit player was in there, he managed to get one or two kills every single time. We saw the Orbit player actually staying in the lead with the hardpoint, even though they didn't have the spawn. So props to them. Now they are in favor onto that rotation for the last kill.
And Shuck still playing from that back spawn area, ensuring that his teammates can't get pinched in the hard point. Orbit up to about a 20-second lead for the moment. Shuck's watching his back, does see one that's a
to that rotation for the last kill.
And Shuck still playing from that back spawn area, ensuring that his teammates can't get pinched in the hard point. Orbit up to about a 20-second lead for the moment. Shuck's watching his back, does see one that's a nice camo use on the side of LDLC, which will be Watson, who Watson obviously makes a huge name for himself in Advanced Warfare, winds up playing a North American team in Dream Team, moves over to the States. So far in Black Ops 3, I mean, I can ask you, I think it's been more than safe to say. I don't know if he's been the same caliber of player so far, still looking for that major breakout event.
Yeah, just some maps throughout the year, but overall he's very inconsistent and definitely hasn't put up the time in the game that he has on last season. And you can see in this game that actually LDLC are struggling against a German team that, you know, isn't considered one of the best teams in Europe, and LDLC definitely want to be able to push for that COD XP qualifications. And so far, I mean, they are getting dominated in arguably what's not the strongest game type of those German.
Yeah, when I first kind of saw this LDLC squad on paper, I was like, oh, you know, these will be a top contender in EU. They've got some great talent on the team, some veteran leadership. And so far, it could not be further from that. Right now, down by 50 seconds to the German squad. Orbit, what I like about this team so far is that the amount of times they push for a hard point with multiple players at the same time and overwhelm this LDLC team. They've ensured they're there for the trading. Currently, they're outslaying, and while it is a narrow margin, a lot of their kills have come in the objective. You saw that at Bottom Palace. You're seeing it again now at Top Middle. Finally, a break comes in from Carbines, but the damage has already been done. And if you look at your minimap, Drael's already set up in the next hard point. Everything going right for Orbit at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing everything right. They're doing good trading. They're doing good rotations. They're making sure they go together, whether it's for the break or to hold the hard point. And you see the players inside the P1 was trying to stay alive, making sure he had the cover from his teammate. And that's what you need. You need great confidence in your teammate's cover. And so far, it's working in the favor. They got a 60-point lead, and they are in control of this P2. This is a big kill to make. Whoa! Somehow he managed to stay alive, and Drill is going to get the kill on Watson as well. So they are in a really, really good situation, Jack. This is getting really scary for LDLC.
Yeah, and LDLC is still going to try to push from this backside. Nice job finally stopping the pressure that Subsys was putting on. Cosmo and now getting some shots in. Orbit still in control of the hard point, 200 to 117. They've completely blown open the floodgates in this game. They're going to take a 100-second lead as well. LDLC, they're at the point right now where they've got to fight for this scrap time. They can't keep just giving this up for free. And while they are trying to push as a unit for the most part, they just can't seem to break into the hard point.
Yeah, and they're not even winning the gunfights. That was a one-on-one for Watson and wasn't able to make it. And there's been several situations where those one-on-one went in favor of Orbit, which you wouldn't have saw on paper. And there you are. This is the new hard point. For once, LDLC is first into the rotation, but they're going to be able to hold on to this one if they want to make a comeback. Because, I mean, 30 points for Orbit, and it's map one for them.
And boom, just like that. 4 go up, 4 go down. Camo now being popped. Thankfully, LDLC do retake top middle control, led by Shane and his Vesper. So they will at least break back into this hard point. Down still, though, by about 95 seconds. Playing this close ball is Watson. He will be pressured here momentarily. His teammate falls off the map. This could spell trouble for LDLC. Pressure comes in. Heatwave now being popped by Cosmo. He's got help from his teammates there. Subsys trying to stay alive. A nice kinetic armor used by Shane. They need every ounce of time they can get. They've invested in this hard point if you're LDLC. It has worked out. They've chipped away the lead now down to about 70 seconds. By the time they get the rest of the scrap time, it'll be about a minute. This rotation towards green could be the most important hill yet. Let's see how LDLC fare when trying to get control of this new hard point.
Yeah, and if you are Orbit right now, you just need to take one thing at a time, make sure you're not stressing. Don't do the same mistake that Fab did earlier against Millennium. Just make sure you organize exactly what they did to break into that new hill. Now they're in a great position to end this one.
And you've got a Man of War player playing from top greenhouse. That is going to be Shucks, who cuts down one before he's traded on out. 243 to 165. I mean, I think this one is done, Jonas. One final push coming from LDLC. They're trying to flood the hard point, but Orbit just have too many bodies there. 250 to 165 should be the score. They're still just flooding bodies, and Watson actually hops out of the objective to help the other team take the map, and just like that, Orbit go up 1-0 in this series.
Wow, that's that's always a big surprise when one of the CW team loses to a non-CW team. You would have thought that ISWC, they had a bad event and it was just a slip-off to lose against the German because maybe they were lacking the motivations, but no, it actually turns out these German teams doing really good, and taking a hard point off a CW team is really impressive.
I'll tell you right now, it wasn't the flashiest of plays, but it was consistent. Every player over a minute in the objective. These guys, yes, they outslay, but the most important and impressive part for me is their ability to not only rotate, but call out where the spawns are coming from. They had strong setups on the hard points, and if you notice something as well, there was always two members in the objective at all times. It wasn't just a lone guy trying to hold off all by himself. He had help when he needed it. Orbit take map number 1, and now LDLC are fighting from the back foot.
No, absolutely, and like you said, they just played this one really well. Great communication and great teamwork all around from the team, and it's also the first non-CWL team to beat a CWL team today in Hardpoint.
Well, there you go, right? It was bound to happen at some point. It now does, and now the bigger question for me is, search and destroy.
And that's scary. That's where it gets scary.
Right?
Because to me, it's like Orbit should win the SND. They are a really good SND team. They proved it at ISWC. They won SND against LDLC, but also against Rise, which is something in itself. And, now the good thing for LDLC on the bright side is they know exactly how this team is going to play out in SND, so they know they need to go against a sniper. Well, they have to.
I mean, we just watched how it all broke down. Is there someone that was really kind of from the side of LDLC that just wasn't a factor in that map that you need to see more of in this series?
Well, I think, Watson, probably. I mean, he didn't have especially bad map, but he's always the player that I'm going to be looking at when you need to look for someone to make a difference.
Yeah.
He's been able to do so in a few events this year where he's had like a really, really good map. I'm thinking about when he was playing with Exertus against Vitality. He had like a massive map in the very last one to keep them alive in the series. So he's the guy I'm going to be looking at to be the hero here.
I mean, I heard so many positives about Watson in Advanced Warfare. So far, haven't really heard his name brought up too many times. I know he had some kind of unfortunate runnings in with different teams at start of stages, and I know he had some rough storylines so far in Black Ops 3. I want to see him rise back up to the top, but for what I just saw in that game 1, LDLC looked very flat. If they did rotate early, which for the most part they didn't, like one, for example, I think of was that bottom Palace hardpoint, they had 4 players over. Next thing you know, you wind up having this Orbit squad kind of just march on over. They send 3 players in the outer wall run. They drop to the different doors. They catch LDLC off guard, and instantly they're immediately spawning out, and they're having to fight from retaking territory on the map. I'm wondering here how this LDLC squad plays in Search and Destroy after dropping map 1, but also a map like Redwood where middle map control can be so key, where coordinating pushes is a very big factor. I'm not too worried about the side of Orbit in executing that. LDLC, they need to come out to a hot start in the Search and Destroy if they want to have any chance taking the series.
Yeah, I think playing for a French organization, they're having a bit the same problem that the French have. It's a lack of confidence. I think they've had a really tough season, and you could tell with the Hardpoint game that they were really lacking the confidence to go outside of the Hardpoint, to go look for the kills, to put that pressure on. When they were going for the breaks, it's like they were taking the times, they were looking every corner. They weren't being as aggressive as a UK team usually is in Hardpoint, and I think that's one of the things that was really lacking. So I'm hoping going into the SND, we see them going as a 4-man push, being aggressive when they need to, making sure they take control of that bomb site, make sure middle is covered, and that should be it. But can they do it? I think it's mainly a lack of confidence as well.
It was one thing to watch where LDLC, they were before hitting something to go for a break for the hardpoint, right? Whether it was that Cage's hardpoint where they sent everyone towards back lab, if it was bottom Palace and they needed to retake it, they would go for coordinated pushes. The issue that was coming in, and what you were bringing up, was they were losing one-on-one gunfights in the hard point. The clutch battles that they needed to take weren't going their way. And if that happens once or twice, okay, you know what? You bounce back. When that happens 6, 7, 8 times in a hard point, you get a game like that where at the start, Orbit, they were hanging in. LDLC came out to a hotter start up the gate. But then as time went on, Orbit clutching up engagements, winning rotations, chaining kills together when they needed to. That's where it really fell out of hand. It wasn't like score streaks. I don't even know if anyone earned a score streak.
No, I don't even think there was a single score streak during the whole map. So it wasn't down to big streaks of kills from the players. It was down to the stats was pretty even, but Orbit eventually, you could tell that they were putting a certain frustration on LDLC that wasn't able to break in, or when they had the initial setup, they weren't able to keep it. So you could almost tell by the way they played, there was a frustration in the gameplay.
Yeah, and you mentioned the frustration in the gameplay. Obviously, you would have the boys of Orbit get in the hard point, but they would also be locking down the spawn. So LDLC would come in, they would maybe get 3 dead on Orbit, but then Orbit wind up trading efficiently and being able to replenish their hardpoint presence quicker because of spawns being in their favor. LDLC now down 1-0. We are entering the Ban and Protect for this game number 2. Going to be Redwood Search and Destroy. Let's take a look at the sniper presence on the map. Where do these players wind up going? Off the bat, it is a Man of War ban from Drail, and then immediately after, Nile gets rid of that overkill.
So I think the next one from Caravan's got to be Thermal. I mean, I would be very surprised if he wasn't. The only problem with banning Sniper against Shox is that he's a bit like Nagafen and all the US players. He actually knows how to play with all the snipers, whether it's the Locus or the SVG or the P06, and you see the Thermal going away straight away. But ISWC was the same thing. People were banning both Overkill and Formal, but it didn't really matter. He was actually being able to hit those shots without the Thermal.
Yeah, we saw Reedy using the P06 with Elo sight earlier today. He was using the Varix, and I mean, prior to this match, I was asking about the few of the players because I'm learning a lot about them this weekend as well, but you brought up some very, very kind of high points of Shuck's sniping ability. You think you put him in one of the top in Europe?
I mean, he's been the difference maker. ISWC, when I saw him play, especially on Stronghold, when he was defending that bomb or when they were attacking, every time those very tough shots when you were jumping or with someone behind the neck glitch, he was not hitting them once. He was hitting them consistently. He was almost never missing, and that's what you need of a sniper. If someone's going to take a sniper, he needs to hit those shots consistently.
The 2 players you brought up that you really wanted to watch this weekend in sniping was Reedy, which we saw earlier today, and now Shucks in this matchup has an opportunity to put Orbit up 2-0. Your specialist draft just like that is done. Psychosis on the side of Orbit. You've obviously got the big 3, active camo, kinetic armor, heat wave as well. For LDLC, they've got the big 3, but they're also added an overdrive. You heard TP sentiments on that specialist earlier on today, where he really likes overdrive on this map. It can be so useful to get in that front bunker push, get maybe a timing in your advantage.
We saw Matt Catch earlier use it really well at 5-5 to make sure he had the information whether there was someone on the bomb when they were attacking. And I think that's a very good use. If you're going to be using overdrive, it's not necessarily to get the first kill, but it's also to get the first information. High risk, high reward, right?
Exactly. And then if you want to play for information, a little bit more of a safe play. But a lot of these guys like to go and be the playmaker, right, for their team. So you go ahead,
everyone does.
Use that overdrive, you get yourself on the highlight reel, give yourself an opportunity to catch your opponents off guard. We hope you're enjoying the coverage, though, of the CWL Challenge Division event here at the Gfinity Summer Masters. So far, it's been a lot of fun for me to watch these European teams. I want to see more of a presence from the Challenge Division teams. Obviously, we see in our first match earlier today, Riot taking down Supremacy. Since then, though, they've been quick ones. They've been all 3-0s. They've been in favor of the CWL teams. This one right now,
Millennium Fab was close as well. Even though the score doesn't reflect, it was a close game.
I can agree with you on that one, but as we know right now, Orbit up 1-0. Can they keep this one going in the best of 5? There's a look at LDLC in their booth right now. And now a beautiful mustache.
From Shucks.
From Shucks. Yeah. I think that's what gives him the power.
Yeah, it was getting so hyped. It was getting so hyped. I was hitting the sniper shots. It was kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That's a nice mustache.
I actually wish I could be closer to it. I might actually walk down from the cast.
That's a lot of work as well.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Swanee was getting close to it at some point.
I think that's why Shane looks so stressed right now. He's realizing he's going up against a mustache of champions. That gives him sniping abilities.
It has to worry you.
Shane doesn't have one of his own, which might worry him here. Either way, game 2 now starting on up. Can the Orbit train continue, or do LDLC tie this series? Give us at least another CTF today, which once again would be fringe capture the flag. Either way, in your opinion, from what you've seen so far from these 2 teams, from what you've seen in the past and the event so far, where are you going to this match? Who you siding with in game 2?
I'm going to go with Orbit. I do think either way it's going to be a close one, so I would see 6-5 or 6-4. It could go either way. I'm favoring Orbit purely based on shocks, And the thing also with Shox is not only that, you know, when you start eating those shots in the first 3-4 rounds, then usually players tend to hide and not give you easy shots to go with. But Shox, even when players were hiding, he was still managing to find some kills. So let's see what he can do. I hyped him so much now. If he plays bad, I'm going to look like an idiot.
Oh, I'm sorry, but he doesn't even have a sniper on right now. Going with that AR off the break.
So he's actually maybe, it might even go with a surprising strat and not rely on the sniper like they used to.
Well, unfortunately, on the side of Orbit, they're already 3 dead. It's Cosmo left by himself. Does cut down 1. Has to also plant this bomb. This should absolutely be an LDLC round win. Do not see how Orbit converts this one. He's been spotted in top window. Going to try to get out with his life. Cleaned up easily from Watson. Nice job, LDLC, to strike first.
Yeah, really good control of LDLC, showing they're not afraid, showing this confidence we were speaking about, making sure they get the information very quickly, getting onto that bomb site and picking up the first kills. There was nothing the poor player from Orbit could do. Carbines was ready to jump by the window as well. 1-0, very easy round for the English.
Yeah, and why does that happen? Well, a player from LDLC flies right through middle map. Look, everyone from LDLC got involved in the action, but they fly right through middle map. They get the first blood and bunker, and Orbit immediately have to get to worry about their flank. Everyone loses their one-on-one engagements. Nice job, LDLC, making sure they strike first. Already, though, it's an aggressive play again from Orbit. Subsist strikes down 1. Challenge does come in. He gets crafty with this flank. Finds a second. There's the third as well. Already 3 kills this round for Subsist. And just like that, it's Watson. Now he's left to the 1-on-3. And now you can tell he's like, well, how do I even begin to try to retake this round? Yeah, where did all my teammates just go?
Yeah, what the hell just happened? Like, massive play off Subsist, just getting under that bridge and hitting the flank to get the 2-piece. It was really a tough choice to make, but hey, like you said, high risk, high rewards. That's just paid off. And he's getting the ace.
That is an ace from Subsist. Gets into the water, uses that wall run to jump right behind 2 LDLC players. And with Afterburner, stock being in play, lets him just play so aggressive with Flak Jacket as well. Not worried about grenades flying in. Beautifully done by Subsist. Gets his team tied back up in this game, and those are the types of plays you need from someone like Orbit to take a series off LDLC.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just answering right back with that confidence, with that aggressive rush defensively. They did the exact same thing as LDLC did, and from a mental standpoint, it's really good to see that they're not afraid to show something new. And right now, once again, it's going to be a very aggressive push, and Watson's going to have
spot it. Does the HC spot it? Oh, no, they didn't even use it.
Oh.
So Watson holding this angle. Could play spoiler to this round. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Wait, what?
That can be genius.
Pops back up, at least evens the numbers out, gets a second as well.
Oh, don't go for the air play.
Yeah, just play your life for the moment. You've already gotten 2. No reason to go
bomb
for
was actually
planted.
risky.
Yeah, bomb was planted, so they're going to have to go for the check. Watson with 3 this round. The 4th is there. Tries to clean him up. Won't happen as of yet. Shucks actually kills 2, and he's going to force the challenge from this final player. Oh, the RK5. That was kind of reckless, though. Nile with the 1 burst. He'll win the round for LDLC. So Shucks, I love the 2-piece he gets, but unfortunately doesn't see the 3rd player, has to worry about a bomb defuse coming in. And I don't know if I like the angle he checked with the RK5. Easily gets cleaned up. We'll see it again from the side of LDLC.
If you're going to pull your AK5 in that situation, then you need to get closer to the tree, make sure it's going to be a close quarter angle.
Yep.
Because he was going for a very wide angle, so if Niall was going to jump, he was sure that it was going to be a mid-distance gunfight, so you really need to keep with his M8.
Obviously.
Small mistake.
How much stuff can he do there, though, with the 1 burst coming in?
Yeah.
Either way, LDLC take the round. It wasn't pretty, but it all started with Watson's nice 2-piece, playing that close angle on the tree, catching his opponents off guard. I love when players utilize spots like that.
And don't shoot.
Look at your minimap, what we're now seeing. Orbit looking to potentially change things up. You've got Drael watching from an interesting angle.
Watson once again.
Control area.
Watson's got a lot of weight on his shoulders in the past few rounds, and is not going to be able to get the first blood this time around. But Killfish actually, Orbit actually in quite a good situation.
Yeah, they have spotted a player right outside this kind of shack area, and I feel like they need to go and immediately target him. Get him off the map, make this a 3-on-3, because you've already gotten first blooded in this round. They know he's still got to be close up. He has been spotted. That is definitely the right play call. Bomb has been planted, though. They're going to have to go for the 3v3 retake of the site.
completely reverse spawn right now. So I would say LDLC is a very variable situation. 20 seconds left to go. It's not a lot, but Cosmo is going to pick up Shane. So it's a 3-on-2 situation. Nice kill from Sunset. And that's Niall all alone. 1v2 situation is completely doable, but he needs to do this right.
Go ahead, peek from the correct side for the moment. Challenges the first player. There's the cleanup. Not able to get the second. Another close 1v1 scenario. This time, though, Orbit take it. And another example of having a moment where, you know what, he didn't hop on the bomb yet. He got off immediately to make sure that he could help his teammate in that engagement. And there, Orbit will go ahead and tie up this game. Look at how they were playing with. They were playing for the kill. They were waiting for the kill to come in. They knew he had to check bomb. It's just well done. Heads-up play.
Yeah, and very solid shot and reaction from Cosmo in those 1v1 situations. Sometimes you can end up missing the first 1 or 2 bullet, and with an M8 in front of you mid-distance, it can go into one burst like we see in the past 1v1. So definitely need to be cautious on that onto that one, and it's going to be 2-2 now going into round number 5.
Now, LDLC, when they pressured towards middle map in round 1, they saw a lot of success. I want to see them begin to bring that back out. Right now, they haven't. There's a solo peek towards top B, and we talked about this with our TP earlier today. That really is never the right choice. That'll also earn Cosmo as HC.
That was well played. Just blowing that HXD was completely worth shooting and giving away his position. The HXD is so valuable going into SND, and the bomb, once again, is going to go down.
I love when players play this close angle. It's never expected for them to be towards his front window side, and Subs is not actually checking his left.
That was like trouble for LDLC once again.
There's one. Second player's been spotted. Should be cleaned up right after. Flawless round from Orbit. They picked the site, they executed, and LDLC fall one player at a time. Not a single trade. And that, if you're an LDLC fan, is a worrying round.
It's a worrying round, and at the same time, it's a very good sign for Orbit. If you're an Orbit fan right now, you must be so happy because they're really playing this one well. They had a good hardpoint map now. Going into this SND, every single round that they won, they played really well. They played together. They're making sure they got the right covers. They're not afraid of doing some crazy rushes as well. So they're really exploring the whole spectrum of SND right now.
And look at how aggressive you've got the side of Orbit getting towards this middle map area. Cosmo, potentially going to be the playmaker in this round, has slowed down for the moment. Knows he's found himself in a great spot. Can he act off of it, though? Does get vision of one, playing his life. Beautiful decision from Orbit to keep this in a 4-on-4 scenario.
You don't want to be giving away for a first blood, especially when you're trying to go so aggressive and just make the difference. And you can see from the minimap that LDLC is actually quite scared of what's going on with Cosmo. And Cosmo
gets so much information.
I don't think he actually saw him.
Oh no,
that's bad timing.
That's completely round changing. The fact that he doesn't see him instead of now kind of a hot pursuit towards this area of the map. Now this bomb should be planted, and it's going to be up to Niall to hold this flank by himself. He does have Heatwave and an HC. Tagged up, swings back over, though, and just bursts Subsids down. That might secure the round for his team.
Yeah, that was a massive kill. That's just going to buy them so much time. And if Niall died, then it was all open for the Orbit lineup to come around the back. And now it's going to be a 3-on-2 situation for LDLC. They should win this.
And they've got to go quick. I mean, I don't know what Orbit are waiting on. Cosmo's watching middle map. They have to still defuse this bomb, check the site.
Cosmo is still on the streak. That's why he's waiting.
Yeah, this is true. One kill off the Lightning. I think it's worth it for him to stay alive, play his life here. The game will be tied back up, but he knows how important something like a Lightning could be for his team. Smart play.
He's never going to make those 3 kills.
Exactly right. He's on a 4 streak. Keeping that alive is key. If we go ahead and quickly swap through LDLC, not an HG, not an HG, not an HG, but Camo, Overdrive, Specialist now coming into play, which is a great power swing opportunity for the team that used it better. Used it to their advantage. Here's your final kill cam, though, from Watson. His AR putting in work so far this game.
And we talked a lot about the importance of specialists into SND, and especially going into those late rounds. I always favor the CWL teams to use them better because they've been in most tense situations. They have more experience. So those little details is what make the CWL teams better, in my experience. And it's going to be very interesting to see how
It would appear that the object of our mission is already beyond our reach.
Alas, the capsule containing our beloved Dempsey is on board that rocket, bound for the moon.
This Dr. Maxis. Why did he bring us to this place?
I have been here before. I know what we must do. We must return the rocket to the Earth by whatever means necessary.
Double points!
Worthy to touch the warrior.
That was just a slight hiccup.
To continue my mission, I require munitions. Fit to stand before me.
So, Richtofen, where is he? The other me.
Alas, it seems the capsule containing our beloved Dempsey is on board that rocket, bound for the moon. For my mortal soul.
Double points!
Greed of encourages me to take risks. It's a bad trait, I know.
I know by now that anything can be useful. Even Richtofen.
I have been here before. I know what we must do. We must return the rocket to the Earth by whatever means necessary.
Duty calls for you.
Subtlety is not the Russian strong point.
Cannot vanquish demons without bullets.
Sour points.
Again, we have found favor with the spirits.
Can't shoot without bullets!
Cursed place.
Bring it on, fleshbag! I'll fight you bare knuckle if I have to! Recovering the capsule will not be easy. You have a plan.
Leave that to me. Trust me. I'm a doctor.
Insta-kill.
Get down, puss bag! I am grateful for most things.
Landing pad activated.
This is where Adder Richtofen lived before. Well, before Richtofen put bullet in Richtofen.
Eagle's Nest, this is Griffin Station. Come in.
This is Eagle's Nest. Over.
Richtofen, is that you? When we didn't hear from you, we feared the worst.
Landing pad activated.
Max ammo. Well, thanks for the re-up.
Fetch me their souls!
The animals approach.
goes saying, see a penny, pick it up. All day long, you'll have a penny. Should I use this to cover my rear? Eesh. Less often I do that, the better. Ooh, I'm loaded.
Eagle's Nest, this is Griffin Station. We have an update. Over.
Dr. Grove, have you made any progress?
Yeah, Doctor. The machine is ready and awaiting the conduit. Security Protocol 935.
Double points!
Okay, Dragon, I helped you. What do you got for me?
Richtofen, I'm observing your current actions. I must confess to being alarmed. Would you care to explain exactly what you are doing in the company of our enemies? Richtofen? Richtofen! I can only assume that you intend to procure Group 935's research for your own twisted goals. Know this, my old friend. I will take whatever steps are necessary to ensure that you never leave the castle alive. Richtofen, the security feeds are somewhat alarming. What on earth is going on down there?
this castle if I have to. This better put him down in one shot. Mad.
Bad! Real bad!
Initiating 115.
Who knew Dempsey needed explosive arrows in his life? A man's only as strong as the friend by his side. The king has his hounds. What do I got? That almost split him in two!
I barely have to lift finger.
Double points!
Seize the moment.
Come at me, brain junkies!
Do not try to trick me. That would be unwise.
I bet even a famous archer couldn't have pulled that shot off.
We ain't playing tag, word bait. Great king prepares for battle. Man has a friend at his side.
Hey, Nikolai. If it all goes down with the crowd, you got my back, don't you?
I hope to never see the day when we turn on one another.
They say war is bad, but this looks like a war with the real bad. Outnumbered, outgunned. Not even his big dogs could protect him. Who knew Dempsey needed explosive arrows in his life? Bonehead!
Initiating 115.
Time to suffer, maggot addicts!
Teleportation successful. Landing pad activated.
What happens when we recover other Dempsey? Maybe Richtofen will tell us of his plan for future.
Sounds like a hell of a wind kicking up.
Across worlds, they used to make me nauseous. Now they make me...
Try taking a swing at me now, maggot addicts! Take an arrow to the marrow, bone jaws! Richtofen says he's been here before. Was that crazy evil Richtofen or this new man with a plan Richtofen?
I am not sure which Richtofen is most dangerous.
Who thought a bow and arrow would be this much fun? Fun down there? Time to suffer, maggot addicts! lazy bones. Magic wall. Screw off, creep. Come on, let's see what you got. I don't think I've ever been in a fair fight. So, I'm outnumbered, huh? This could get interesting.
Initiating 115.
Who knows what other weird stuff 935 was messing with. Now, you're making me mad. Down the hatch. Ah, that sure hits the spot. I could drink this all day if I could afford it.
Wait, where are you going? Now what? Something in ground? If I wanted to fly, I want to be pirate, not warrior. Didn't your mother ever teach you manners?
Should I use this to cover my front or cover my rear?
Test beginning. Exit area immediately.
Starting to get a taste for this gum.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Initiating rocket test. Test complete. Systems functioning normally. Landing pad activated. Initiating 115.
Take an arrow to the marrow, Bone Jaws! Hey! Scratch me! Not in the mood for giving out hugs, freak bag. For it.
I know I will soon be thirsty again.
Suffer with me, freak bags. Don't you touch me!
Insta-kill.
Not exactly going to plan, is it, Richtofen? Or are you gonna tell me this is how you planned it? That everything's fine? famous archer couldn't have pulled that shot off. Remind me never to annoy Mother Nature.
Appreciate your touch.
Short circuit that, maggot addicts!
Russians care not for such open displays of affection.
Shooting fish in an anti-gravity barrel.
Double
I like
points!
this detonating arrow.
That's what I call shock and awe!
Initiating 115.
I know you have questions, but you have to trust me, Dempsey. I have seen things you wouldn't believe. Things you couldn't imagine.
Yeah? But with your imagination, I don't think I'd want to see all the stuff you
me
have. Get it, dogs! That one took off my eyebrows! This another 935 facility? Who just picked up where you left off? Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them.
Now, Nikolai.
Fry him up, Sparky. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through!
Very anti-capitalist.
You're lucky I was nearby. Tonight's forecast, bad weather! Try that again! I dare you!
If they do not yet fear.
laser strength to do what must be done.
Pop it in. See what happens. Maybe this'll help me cool down a little.
Fire. Not literally, that would be heartburn.
Sam! Sadly, Takeo, now is not the right time for me to explain.
Ain't no better time to start putting them down. Knife wants to say hi! Nothing can evade my bull's aim! Hey! Scratch me! Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Not in the mood for giving out hugs, freak bag. You feeling enlightened, flesh monkeys? This demonic arrow
I suspect the beasts may...
You're getting electrified, meat puppets!
Let us hope this is one time that evil does not beget evil.
You okay, Tack? You and Richthofen seem to be getting pretty friendly these days.
You are paranoid, MC. You forget the symptoms of exposure to element 115.
This bow, this arrow.
Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Step right up, maggot sacks. Tonight's fortune, bad weather! mitts off me! Gotta keep an eye on that ammo. Tonight's forecast, bad weather! Bucket! You're getting electrified, ye puppets! What part of personal space don't you get?
Double points! Kaboom!
A machine gun helps settle any argument. Feast on their fetid flesh! I won't ever get bored, believe me! Enjoy your fiery death, horde! I unleash the full devil! Off creep! The Dr. Monty? Who's Dr. Monty? I thought the teleporter made my stomach turn. That was something. I couldn't give two shits about your misery. You were just getting annoying.
Richtofen has told us little of his comrade, Dr. Maxis. I do not like to put my trust in a man I have not met.
I know what you mean. Especially seeing as how Richtofen put his brain in a jar. As many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them.
Thank you, comrade.
You're getting electrified, meat muffins. Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. I won't ever get there. Believe me. Incessant screams. They grow ever louder.
If the German dies, I will not shed a single tear.
Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! The swarm swarms! We ain't playing backward, baby! Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them.
When will you speak of the Emperor's message? If not now.
Soon, my friend. For now, I must focus on Dempsey. He has no idea of what he will soon have to face.
Panzersoldat, of course! Heads up! Electrical storm coming in! Like I always say, kill them all! Step right up, maggot sack!
Insta-kill!
How's it feel to be in the eye of the storm?
The flavor
Initiating
is
115
acquired
fusion
taste.
process.
Trouble me again.
As long as you keep dying, I'll keep shooting. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Eesh. Less often I do that, the better.
magical potion.
Look at him shake! Didn't your mother ever teach you manners? You feeling enlightened, flesh monkeys? As long as you keep
May the
dying, I'll keep
spirits
shooting
share them.
thing, I'm not afraid of heights. Feeling enlightened, flesh monkey?
I know why we are here. To secure the American test subject.
You're getting electrified, meat puppets.
Feast on their fetid flesh.
The arrows find a target. I won't ever get bored, believe me. That's what I call shock.
Their hunger drives them to shred each and every hill.
I'm gonna need a shower to wash off all this blood. Tonight's forecast, bad weather! It's up! Electrical storm coming through!
Double points!
Don't you touch me! Reckon I could knock some teeth out with this.
Eat as though it were your last meal.
You're getting electrified, meat puppets. Step right up, maggot sack. This ain't heat of your dead!
You are stronger than you realize, Nikolai. If only your judgment were not so clouded, you would be invincible.
I am beginning to think you're not the Richtofen I once knew.
If I wanted to fry,
Simple-minded
I
fool
would
when you
fry 'em up, Sparky!
Allies from other dimensions are always welcome.
I suppose one Jew couldn't hurt. I can always spit it out.
Nice and low.
happens. You freak bag starting to see how this works. Now this is a weapon I can wield.
Double points!
Hands up! Electrical storm coming through! You freak bag starting to see how this works? How's it feel to be in the eye of the storm? Come on, guys, how about a little breathing room? You feeling enlightened, flesh monkeys? Arrows find a target. Don't touch me, foul beast! These bullets will not last long. May the spirits tear them asunder. I am not merely warrior. I am hunter. Desperate in its hunger, it crawls, unaware of its own futility. Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them.
Your bravery is well done, but your blind loyalty to the Emperor confuses me. Be careful.
Control of the machine is but one tiny step in a much longer.
Try and do a better job than last time. They pulled it down in about 2 minutes. Feeling it's lightning, flesh monkeys?
Is this cannibalism? I am not sure.
Time to get airborne, freak maggot! Well, that was something. Try that again. I got you. Look at me shake!
The swarm! getting electrified, meat puppets.
Feeling enlightened, flesh monkeys?
Vanquish the unholy.
Is this cannibalism?
Fry him up, Sparky! Step right up, maggot sacks!
I'm glad they are on our side.
You're getting electrified, meat puppets! Nikolai, a word? This artifact of Richtofen's, has he shown it to you? Something satisfying about putting holes in the heads of your enemies. This should see me through the battle ahead. This is more my style. Shoot droid! I don't like snipers. They're sneaky. Takes a big man to hold a big gun. I am that man. Maggot sacks, line up for death. You know the drill. You ain't seen the last of me, Fox.
This gift will help me honor the Emperor.
Element 115. Don't you remember what it does to you, Tack? It makes you forget things.
You are paranoid. The symptoms of exposure to Element 115.
That's what I call shock and awe. Never turn down a free reload. Find a target. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Your bark was worse than your fight.
Allies from other dimensions are always welcome.
Power of the arrows. You vanquish the unholy.
You're getting electrified, meat puppets. Back to the pound for you.
Tears to that puny body.
Get around, it's gonna be a bloodbath. Fry him up, Sparky! Need a shower to wash off all this blood. Less often I do that, the better. At least I know I can rely on explosives. I can shoot the wings off a fly. Hard to prove, though. Not much left afterwards. Gotta keep an eye on that ammo.
Honestly,
try as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Ugh, I have to tell him when I made my stomach turn. Insta-kill! Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Things will get real messy if I run out of bullets. Fry 'em up, Sparky!
Your death is painful. I am glad.
Double points.
Time to double down. You're getting electrified, meat puppets.
Allies from other dimensions are always welcome.
Step right up, maggot sacks. You feeling enlightened, flesh monkeys?
Feast! Feast on their fetid flesh!
Almost running on empty. Freak bag. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through!
I have learned.
Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Fresh supplies coming in. That's what I call shock and awe.
I have long considered you a barbarian and a brute. Is there more to you than that, Nikolai?
None of you know what I have lived through, what I have endured.
You wanna fight? I wanna fight! Sharp slackjaws!
I pray I never have to face such monsters.
What? You got a bone to pick or something? to be in the eye of the storm. Screw off, creep! I got enough of you! That's what I call shock and awe!
If needs be, I will wade through rivers of blood. So long as they fight on our side, I welcome these creatures.
Tonight's forecast, bad weather!
Their hunger drives them to shred each and every helping.
Fry 'em up, Sparky! You freak bag, starting to see how this works?
So long as they fight on our side, I welcome these creatures.
That's what I call shock and awe!
Nikolai will fight like bear if he hears click-click.
Call me crazy, but I'm starting to think Richtofen may actually know how we get out of all this.
Crazy you may be, Richtofen's knowledge cannot be denied. Whether or not he can be trusted is a different matter.
Your bark was worse than your bite, Clutch. Your med's on me. Try as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Screw off, creep. Now keep your distance. Again! I dare you! I'm gonna be real annoyed if I die for lack of bullets. Fry 'em up, Sparky! I won't ever get bored, believe me! Tonight's forecast, bad weather!
Nikolai is one-man army. Flesh, at least not yet. Making something useful.
How's it feel to be in the eye of the storm?
Your numbers mean nothing. The tiny demon's appetite knows no bounds.
Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Surrounded, huh? Well, I still like my chances.
See, Dempsey? This is where overconfidence leads you.
Step right up, maggot! Tonight's forecast, bad weather! As long as you keep dying, I'll keep shooting. No. I think that color taste was different last time. My taste buds screwed up or something. I won't ever get cooler, believe me. Fry 'em up, Sparky. I'm gonna need a shower to wash off all this blood. Get your paws off me, bloodstores! Freak bag starting to see how this works. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through!
Gondola call. Gondola arriving.
Simple man needs only simple weapon.
Initiating 115.
Eesh. Less often I do that, the better.
Warning. Rocket test beginning. Exit
Double
area.
points.
Doors closing. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Looks decent. Try not to burn through the ammo too fast.
3, 2.
Well, that was the complete opposite of what I wanted.
Test complete. Systems functioning normally.
Well, that was something. I don't like snipers. They're sneaky. I can shoot the wings off a fly. Hard to prove, though. Much left afterwards. I'm packing heat. Leaden death heat. Ooh, that looks like a hell of a nice rifle. Quick blasting this usually does the business.
To the Earth you return. Richtofen claims knowledge of worlds beyond this realm. Do you believe this is possible?
I can't deny that he knows a lot of stuff, but I don't think it's all good. I think I've seen enough rockets for one day. you grow up here? Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Man, you really must be hungry. Tonight's forecast, bad weather. Re-upped and ready for action. Up in smoke, freak bags! Heads up! Electrical storm coming through!
See how the spirit blessed us.
I fear the dogs are cursed.
That's what I call shock and awe!
Arrows like a target. You must
Fry 'em up, Sparky! Walk it off. You're getting electrified, meat puppets. It hurts. So yes, keep struggling. Until I stop, I am unstoppable. Hey, scratch me! Why didn't you take a dirt nap, big bag? Great. This is like an umbrella for keeping blood and guts off. You freak bags starting to see how this works? You're getting electrified, meat puppets. As long as you keep dying, I'll keep shooting. Get right up, maggot sacks. You feeling enlightened, flesh monkeys? The recoil better not give me a black eye. Maybe I should just aim it at the moon.
Pain is fleeting. Your suffering is not.
Nikolai sure talks a lot about going home. I don't even remember where home is anymore. And now, I can't say I know exactly where we're headed. Richtofen better start giving us some straight answers soon. You feeling enlightened, flesh monkeys? Nah? Okay, I'll just fire off a few rounds.
We are smarter than our enemy.
You're getting electrified, meat puppets! Pull your hands away from my body! I could use a little something to gnaw on. Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them.
An angry Russian is happy Russian.
I won't ever get bored. That's what I call shock and awe!
I am not merely warrior. I am hunter.
No treats for you! forecast? Bad weather! I won't ever get bored. Believe me.
Initiating 115.
Shocked slackjaws! You're getting electrified, meat puppets!
You will pay when I return.
You're lucky I was nearby. Told you to keep your paws off of me! Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Having fun down there?
I feel this will prove valuable weapon on our journey.
What? You got a bone to pick or something?
The elements themselves will do our bidding.
You're getting electrified, meat puppets.
Initiating 115.
As long as you keep dying, I'll keep shooting. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Not enough of you! Get off me! Well, that was something.
Early minutes I have.
No treats for you! Tonight's forecast, bad weather! Back to the pound for you! I'm gonna need a shower to wash off all this blood. freak bag starting to see how this works?
Nothing.
Think you brain junkies got me surrounded? I got you exactly where I want you.
Greedy capitalists realize danger of wanting too much.
That's what I call shock and awe.
They must capitalize on Elpig's lethargy.
I'll never get bored. Believe me. That's what I call shock and awe. As long as you keep dying, I'll keep shooting. Try as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. All right, brain boys, let's make this quick. Bring it on.
I hope you don't die, Dempsey.
Pigs are no match for You're getting electrified, meat puppets. Bring it on, neck monster. Let's see what you got. Tonight's forecast, bad weather.
Oh no! Mechanical helping is back! Do our bidding.
Better step back. This ain't gonna be pretty. Here they are, harder they fall.
Open displays of affection.
That's what I call shock and awe.
They'll destroy you.
Your bark was worse than your biting, bud.
I find this screams most entertaining.
Try as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Tell your master he ought to keep you inside. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Playing tag, work me!
underestimate an angry Russian. I know you are not experienced. Perhaps I am immune.
Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want it. As long as you keep dying, I'll keep shooting.
The arrows find their mark and destroy it.
You bring back starting to see the works. Try 'em up, Sparky. I'm loaded.
Blast will consume all the foliage.
Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them. Nothing like the smell of burning freak sacks. I won't ever get bored. Believe me. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through! Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them.
Initiating 115 fusion process. Find their mark and destroy it.
You're getting electrified, meat puppet.
It was my mistake for a while.
My mitts are running, freak bags. Let's do this. What? You got a bone to pick or something? Try 'em up, Sparky. I need a shower to wash off all this blood. How's it feel to be in the eye of the storm? I let my knife do the talking. Step right up, maggot sacks.
The blast will consume all the foliage.
You feeling it? Flesh marking. You freak bag starting to see how this works? Eesh. Less often I do that, the better. How's it feel to be in the eye of the storm?
numbers mean nothing.
Initiating 115 events for Solo.
Max ammo. Well, thanks for the re-up.
Electrified, meat puppets. I thought Sneaky German was Hellpig's favorite.
How's it feel to be in the eye of the storm?
Desperate times, desperate measures. This fight is one-man army! I am glad they are on our side.
Max ammo. Well, thanks for the re-up. Heads up! Electrical storm coming through!
Russian is happy for me. The swarm swarms! Your numbers mean nothing.
Fry 'em up, Sparky!
Allies from other dimensions.
Flesh monkeys!
Double points!
Kill them all and reap the rewards! Uh-oh, that better not be what I think it is. You're getting electrified, meat puppets! I can't wait to see their faces when this takes them off.
No sudden movements. Security tour's been acting up all day. I got a good feeling about this. Totally genuine. Totally not a knockoff. Totally. This store assumes no liability for any injury or death you cause with that. Better than average makes it better than you. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. If that don't up your game, there's no hope for you. I always got the best stuff for you. You know it. And they're gone. If you can use the extra juice, I've got a security tour's been acting up all day. This task should be a challenge for someone of your capabilities.